are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. I tell you what a party for me and the missus is now. Me and the fucking Misso. It is dropping the kids off at my dad's house, or anywhere really, and then just driving in complete silence, not talking to each other at all, not turning the radio on, nothing. Just staring directly out the windscreen with 1,000-yard stare, shell-shocked. Shell-shocked from the just week of unbroken, just constant talking, questions, interruptions, noise, yelling, screaming, crying, shit breaking, just constant. And then we're just in the car, just silence. Like, should we go to dinner? Yeah, does it matter? Not really. Let's just go somewhere. So we drive in silence to a restaurant, and we sit at the restaurant and stare at each other in silence, and then come back home, lay on the couch in silence, and go to bed in silence and wake up in silence. We had a sleep in today, 9:30 a.m. Fuck, it was beautiful. And we went to one of my wife's friends' birthdays at some fucking Italian restaurant. And we didn't even call my old man and his wife to see how the kids were. We fucking... Either way, it would have been fine, to be honest with you. Over like the last year or so, I've been pushing like a third one. And my wife has been fucking like, no, I'm not going through it again. I'm not doing it. Forget about it. And I thought I had her like convinced at the end of our holiday in Mexico. I was like, what do you reckon? Like, should we? Be nice to have a big family. Yeah. Big family. A third one. And she was like, sort of, yeah, we could maybe. And then I was like, hold on, do I even want a third one? And I was like, no, we really would have to think about that. That's not something we can do irrationally in Mexico when we're having a good time. And then we got back and it was just us and the kids again. And my wife's like, fucking forget about it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think we need a third one. I don't think that's a good idea. Can you imagine that? A third one. There's 4 years in between my son. My son will be turning 8 this year. My daughter will be turning 4. And if we snap another one out, that one will be 0. So from there, it will be 18 years. And we've already put in 8 years. So that will be 26 years of hardcore parenting. That's insane. But I have heard it gets a little bit better when they're teenagers and they don't want to talk to you. How good's that going to be? Oh my God, I can't wait till they hate us and don't want to talk to us. That is going to be the best. Oh, you hate us? Oh, you're not talking to me? Oh no. Please don't do that for the next 7 years in a row. We should have named you both Raula. I think I've mentioned that before. The Buddha had a kid, a son, and the Buddha named his son Raula, which means fetter to enlightenment, which means obstacle. Obstacle to enlightenment. How good's that? He's basically named his son, You Ruined My Life. The Buddha had a good sense of humor. Fetter to enlightenment. And I'm going to have to agree. It's hard to become enlightened with wife and kids. One of my wife's friends today asked me at lunch, I don't know where it came from, but she goes, if you weren't married with kids, would you go to a cave in the Himalayas? And I was like, yes. I actually said that to my wife on the way here. I was if I didn't feel I had a responsibility to you and the kids, I would be in a cave right now, like right this second. And she doesn't believe I would be. She's out of her mind. If I was single, I would be in the Himalayas just finding a good fucking cave, that's for sure. I don't know why her friend asked me that actually. I think I might be sending off wants to live in a cave in the Himalayas vibes. I hope I am. I hope I'm sending off those vibes. I tell you what the hardest thing is, social media. Like I can be listening to fucking hours of Buddhism and the Dharma and chanting and all sorts of shit. And I can, in my head and what feels like my heart, I feel like I've got it all under control. And then I'll open up Instagram and see someone doing something and I'll be like, oh, why aren't I doing that? Why am I just here doing this? Why? And then I have to pull myself back. I'm like, you're meant to feel joy for people doing good things now. That's the Buddhist way. So now I've got to feel joy for people I don't like doing things that I don't want them to be doing. That's my new life. I have to feel joy for them. And that's hard. I'm telling you, that's fucking hard. But you got to do it. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm so happy. I'm so happy this cunt's doing this. Yeah. Yeah, he's a sentient being with Buddha nature as well. And I'm glad he is happy. I'm glad. I'm glad everyone's happy. It's so hard to be a good person. I don't know how they do it, but I'm trying. I'm just trying. Just little baby steps. Anyway, I've got the mad Irishman Richie in my lounge room with my family. He's swearing his head off every 2 seconds, calling people cunts, calling my kids cunts, calling people fuckheads on the phone in front of my 7-year-old son and my 3-year-old daughter. So I got to go wrangle that madman. So that'll do for today. I want to shout out a couple of people that have joined the Patreon in the last couple of days. So I'll do that before I go. We've got the fucking great man, Liam Pickett. Thanks for joining, brother. And we have Sandy Cervix. Sandy Cervix, thanks for joining. That'll do. And I'll see you the fuck later.